It's all about borehole system and water tank maintenance. Okay, borehole system and water tank maintenance. Now, hey guys, welcome to AsherGad channel, making Africa home again, one family at a time. Trust you're all doing well, wherever you are on the four corners of this planet, making gradual plans to make your dreams become a reality on the lovely continent that is Africa. All right, love for the love to all our subscribers, to all our Patreon and PayPal families, and for all our clients who email us on a daily basis, with queries. They're building in Ghana, building in Nigeria, building in Kenya. You know, all much appreciated. And keep on going with your dreams. Yeah. So welcome again. It's another Tuesday, 6 p.m. GMT, and I have another video for you, lovely homeowners on the continent, or those who are building homes on the continent. I'm outside today, and it is boiling. It's kind of Hamatan season, but it's still quite hot. Anyway, today's video, I think the pumps are going to be a bit noisy in the background, so I may move around a bit. So today's video really is all about, I want to talk about the borehole system and the water tank maintenance. Okay, borehole system and the water tank maintenance. I'm going to try and move around slowly because people have been asking me, oh, how's your farm doing, etc, etc. Yeah, farm is great. Sorry, off topic, but farm is great. We've been eating from our farm and it's been amazing. You know, we've had plantains, bananas, pawpaw, guava, pomegranate, cassava, yams. The pears growing very well, the mangoes are growing very well. Yeah, so definitely, it's been great. That's been a great investment of time, and a great investment of finances as well in that respect. Okay, so let me see where the sun is. So, like I said, today is all about borehole system and water tank maintenance. Okay, borehole system and water tank maintenance. Now, we had a client call us recently who wanted to have their water tank cleaned, and I was able to recommend some guys to go over there and to clean their water tanks. Now, they hadn't cleaned their water tanks for about 9 months. 9 months, which is ridiculous. And I'm not sure why. Maybe they don't live there, but I don't know why it took so long, because some people are living there. 9 months, and if I tell you the amount of dirt that was in these tanks, it was horrendous. A lot of dirt. I'm going to show you some pictures on your screen, and you see the level of dirt that was in one of their 5,000 liter tanks, all settled at the bottom. Okay, and I'll show you the before pictures of their tanks and the after pictures as well, after the tank was cleaned. Now, obviously, because the dirt is heavy, it all settles at the bottom, so the water in some parts of the house still generally looked clean, but in other parts of the house you could actually see the dirt coming through, and it was beginning to cause issues. The recommendation is, if you have a borehole system, okay, the recommendation is that you clean the tanks every 3 to 6 months. Okay, every 3 to 6 months, depending on the number of people in the house. If it's a house of, let's say, 4 people, then maybe even every 3 months, clean the water tanks. It doesn't take too much to clean. You just have to empty them, get the guys to come over. They come in there, and they clean the tanks with a caustic solution. They clean the tanks out, okay, so that you can always have clean water, because obviously water is important. Water is life. Water is more important than electricity. So you want to follow this recommendation. All right. So as I was saying, guys, I changed my location. The sun was beating me a bit too much, so a bit more shade here. So as I was saying, obviously water is important. Now in these client tanks, the one on the roof actually had a bit of hardened cement at the bottom. And what's happened is that these tanks were obviously used during the construction of the home. So the masons are using it, the builders are using it, they're using it to they fetch water and to do cement works, and some of the cement is going into the water and hardening at the bottom. And they only just realized when they decided to clean the tanks that there's hardened cement at the bottom of the tanks. So that was a little bit of a concern to them. So we recommended that they test the water again. So we tested the water again after the thorough clean, and thankfully the results of the water test, in fact I can share the results on the screen. The results of the water test were that the water is perfectly even drinkable. Although they don't drink it, the water is drinkable in an emergency situation. If you really wanted to drink it, it is drinkable after the clean, that is. But they typically use borehole water for irrigation outside, for having a bath, the toilet, flushing, and cooking. Especially now, it's drinkable water and cooking. There are some homes where there are a few homes where they don't even use it for cooking because maybe it's too dirty. And I'll give you an example of that after the break in a minute. So other reasons to clean your water system tanks, every 3 to 6 months, right? Depending on the number of people in the house, right? Is that depending on the level of sediment, of let's say suspended solids in your water, after a few months, you begin to realize that your taps are seizing. Okay, the taps don't flow, or the pressure is reduced significantly because it's blocked by the dirt. And this can happen to taps, it can happen to showers, it can happen to automatic float switches that are in your tank. If you have an automatic water system like we do, when the tanks are full up, the pumps stop. Okay, but if the automatic flow switch is clogged by dirt, then it fails to work properly. All right, it fails to work properly. And we've had that situation ourselves. So this is a very important reason why you have to clean the borehole water tanks every 3 to 6 months. Okay. Let me just show you something. In fact, I'm not going to go there because the sun is blazing. But at the back of the house, we have an external tap. Now, if you've been following this channel, you know that we have a raw water tank to start with, which gets the water from the borehole to start with. Then it goes through the filtration system to a second tank on the right hand side. Then it's pumped up to the roof. We have a 2,500 litre tank on the roof, and then it's pumped down into the house. The reason why we always recommend having a tank on the roof is because if there is no power and you haven't got a backup power like a generator, then you still have a decent amount of pressure coming into the home via gravity. If you can't get it on the roof of your house, then have a vertical structure near the house to get a tank at high level. That's supplying the home. Now, we had a situation just last week, last month, sorry, where the water wasn't the water from the pump in the second tank wasn't going up to the roof tank, and it took a while to figure out what was going on. I tested all the valves, I tested all the pipes, tested all the connections, everything was open. It just stopped working until I actually dived into the tank and realized that the float switch was clogged up with dirt, and therefore, because it was clogged up with dirt, the automatic system thought that the tank was full up. So I had to take it out, clean it out, put it back in, then hey presto, everything began to work as normal as it should be. So I hope this is useful. And I'm going to share an example of a reverse osmosis system that we got quoted from one of our clients in the eastern region, and the type of water they had. But let's discuss that immediately after the break. See you soon. Are you looking to build your dream home in Ghana? Or are you building already? Would you benefit from regular site visits to monitor your building and receive regular progress reports? Well, if that's the case, and that's you, look no further. AsherGad Consultancy at your service. We offer the following services: electrical design, construction monitoring inspections, site progress reports, consultation for all items MEP, witnessing of testing and commissioning, periodic snagging, vetting of specialist subcontractors. We also report site activities to you to hopefully help you spend your money efficiently and much, much more. Get in contact for your building needs. Details on the screen. AsherGad Consultancy, making Africa home again, one family at a time. All right, guys, welcome back. So another story. Today's story time. We had a client in the central region. Central. I think I mentioned eastern region before the break. It's actually central region. Central region, close to the sea, who wanted us to come along, help them, figure out the plumbing system that they're going to install, which included testing their water initially as well. And when I tell you this water was dirty, it was another level of dirt. The water was very dirty, to the extent that you can see the dirt with your naked eye, not the small type of dirt that is common elsewhere. This was very dirty. So after the water was tested, very dirty and very salty, especially being close to the sea, very salty. So the client already knew that they needed a reverse osmosis system. Okay. After we tested this water at the specialist company, the highest level of reverse osmosis machinery and filtration system that they had would filter this water fairly well, but even so could not bring the level of salt down to the level required by Ghana standards to make it drinkable. And even at that, okay, that particular RO system was so expensive that it's not even worth it. Because the water was so dirty that the RO system would cost 115,000 Ghana cedis. That's right, I repeat, 115,000 Ghana cedis for the reverse osmosis system that this particular client needed. Okay, reverse osmosis is expensive, but this is a very extreme case. So don't be put off if your water is salty. This is a very extreme case of a house close to the sea, and for some reason, the water is extremely dirty, that even after spending or potentially spending 115,000 Ghana cedis, you still do not get a salt content that is low enough to make this water drinkable. So after, thinking about this with the client, we decided to come up with a different solution, to which the client agreed. They now agreed to use rainwater harvesting instead. So they now have both the rainwater and the borehole, but we've arranged the system in such a way that the rainwater becomes the primary source of power. So the rainwater becomes the primary source of water, okay, and then the borehole is a secondary source of water. And we've got a few non-return valves and some other if you like, equipment in there to make sure that when the rainwater is flowing, it's only the rainwater is flowing. And if there is not enough rainwater, or the rainwater tank is empty, then we transfer to the borehole water. Okay, so that was the solution that we finally came to with this particular client in the central region, because that was a much cheaper alternative for them. Okay, and I think they ended up spending with the rainwater. Actually, the rainwater system, I don't know what the final cost was, but what I do know is that the basic filtration system that they went for in the end ended up costing about 30,000 Ghana cedis instead of the original 115,000 Ghana cedis for the reverse osmosis system. So much cheaper, but the workaround is this client is using the rainwater as his primary source of water. That is the workaround, primary source of water. And where there is no rainwater, then he will divert to the borehole water. But because the salt content is still quite high, to avoid the pots and pans and other things rusting too quickly, he's not going to use it for cooking. He's not going to use his secondary water supply for cooking. He's just going to use it for irrigation, having a bath, toilet flushing, and stuff like that. So that's the situation with this particular client. It's an extreme case, but I just thought I'd bring it anyway. Most reverse osmosis systems, will probably cost you around 25 to 30,000 Ghana cedis, depending on the level of salt you have, and should be able to deal with the level of salt. Hey guys, just thought I'd come into the shade again. I'm just beside our lovely almond tree in the farm area. Lovely tree, gives a lot of good shade. I definitely recommend it for all those who are interested. Hope you enjoyed this video. Hope it was useful for you, for all those who are building in Ghana or anywhere on the continent, to be honest, or even aspiring to build. Hope this was useful for you. As usual, please like, share and subscribe, okay, to this channel, and so that you always be aware when AsherGad upload a new and educational video for your viewing pleasure. So from Gad, it's Kemesia, and for me guys, Yebeshia. See you next time.